just for a moment, I want you to let go, consciously relax, and just watch this moment. Just be present to what is in your experience in this moment and actually do it. Don't just watch the video and just listen to what I say. Actually notice the sounds, the sensations, the feelings. And I want you to just notice the shift in your awareness that begins to happen as a byproduct of doing that. You go from being lost in thought. You go from being even just tense in the body. You go from just being kind of passively experiencing life in this sort of sleepwalker-like fashion to waking up to this experience, to being conscious, to just being present, rather than just acting out of this sort of subconscious conditioning where you're just kind of going through life and it's mechanical, it's robotic, it's not present, it's unconscious. Right? It's just repetitive. It's just these ingrained habits repeating themselves over and over and over again. Right? I want you to actually think about that for yourself. I want you to recognize how habitual and mechanical and robotic a lot of your life is. It's the same pattern just repeating itself over and over and over and over again. And then you just kind of lose touch with life because you start taking it for granted. So what's occurring in your body right now? I actually want you to notice. Is it on guard, right? Is it tense? Is it kind of like rigid? Is it in this sort of subtle state of like fight or flight? And can you just kind of relax it a little bit? And throughout your life, I want you to just return your attention to that. I want you to just keep in mind that your body's wise. Your body's not a dumb hunk of meat. Your body's highly intelligent, far more intelligent than your sort of ordinary thoughts are. Your body's a very wise and intelligent energetic system. And the more you can attune to it, the more you'll recognize how true what I just said actually is. So again, what's occurring in the body right now? Is the gut tense? Are the shoulders raised? Is it kind of numb? Just relax it to the best of your ability right now. What's going on in your mind? Are thoughts and stories dominant? You're believing every single thought that arises in the mind, and can you just kind of let them go for now? Just allowing them to arise and pass, not needing to cling on to them, not needing to hold on to them, not needing to push any thought away, just allowing them to arise and pass, just allowing even the sensations in your body to move and fluctuate and flow, to arise and pass, to be in a state of movement rather than holding and rigidity. Our typical state, how we basically typically walk around and experience life, is just this sort of almost state of hypnosis actually. About 95% of our life is controlled by just subconscious patterns, things that we kind of believe we're controlling, but we're not really controlling, things that we've actually just been conditioned with that just repeat themselves. This is like really what is going on in our lives. And then we wonder why our lives don't change. We always feel the same way. We get the same results. Because all this conditioning that we're not even aware of is what's really running the show. So again, our typical state is this sort of hypnotic like trance. We're just kind of believing every thought and then tensing the body and constricting the body. This ends up being very uncomfortable. It's very contracted. It's very tight. It kind of traps our energy. We can't even express authentically because we're so rigid and we're just kind of repressing ourselves moment by moment out of fear. So our culture itself is full of distractions. Our culture itself is full of ways to escape what's happening now. Social media, junk food, overworking, all sorts of stuff. Newest movies, newest gadget, newest thing on the news, newest stuff to just always be reacting to. Our culture creates all sorts of addictions. And this also acts as a way to just kind of disconnect us from our experience, to kind of just numb ourselves, to make us dull to our experience, which then makes it easier for us to just be acting in that sort of hypnotic like trance. So we use this to avoid ourselves and live what Socrates called the unexamined life. If you don't know, Socrates is a Greek philosopher, and he has a very famous quote that is, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And I would fully agree with him on that one. So we don't question anything. We aren't present to experience. We aren't awake to life. This is the unexamined life. We don't really apply attention or awareness to anything. We don't inquire into it. We don't get curious about it. We don't even actually care about actual life. Instead, we're just kind of stuck in our ideological bubbles. We're stuck in thoughts, and we experience a deep disconnect from our experience, from the actual essence of existence itself. We experience this kind of disconnect from what is present right now and the pure beauty and the profundity of this experience. So spend more time connecting to experience. Spend more time connecting to the actual essence of creation, the felt essence of simply being, the felt essence of just being alive. Do that through meditation. Do that through sitting in nature. Do that through just observing nature and how complicated it is. Non-human activity. Just observe non-human activity for a while and just realize how profound nature actually is. Really appreciate how much non-human activity actually went into the creation of your own life as well. Connect to the essence of creation through creative work, allowing yourself to be a channel for creation, for what wants to come through. You're kind of co-creating a reality. You're creating every day, creating thoughts, feelings, sensations, movements, art, maybe. You have a very creative force to you that you have to utilize. This is really going to help you quite a lot in your life. It's just going to make you feel very good. Mindful movement, appreciating beauty, just looking at a sunset. Breaking free from addictions, because when we're addicted and we're craving things like our culture has kind of designed us to be, because addiction is a great business model, keeps people coming back for more and more and more and more. When we're addicted to stuff, we actually limit our capacity to find happiness in experience. When we're addicted to, let's say, social media, we can only find happiness when we're on social media, or doing drugs, or eating certain foods like junk foods, high sodium, high fat, high protein, high sugar. Right? We're actually limiting our capacity to be happy in life just looking at a tree, looking at a sunset, looking at a loved one, just walking down the street. Right? Some other ways to actually connect to this essence are to follow your curiosity, your intrinsic motivation, to actually just explore more perspectives. Most people don't really have a lot of perspectives in their mind. They don't really proactively learn very much. Learn neuroscience, learn quantum mechanics, learn psychology, learn spirituality, learn Zen, Christianity, and other forms of Buddhism, not just Zen. Right? Christianity, different branches of Christianity, Hinduism. Right? Study all sorts of stuff. I got a free book list. Right? Just take a look at a bunch of the perspectives that exist on that book list. Put some of them in your mind. A lot of that kind of information is going to deprogram a lot of the stuff that's kind of been lingering in your mind that might not be helpful. Learn some basic healing, some basic therapeutic work, so you can actually navigate your own internal struggles well. Learn some basic perspectives on physical health. What do I even eat? How do I nourish myself so that my body can feel alive? I got all sorts of books for that, free on my book list. Or the book list is free. You'll have to buy the books. Very cheap though. A lot of these books can be like $3, $4, $5, up to maybe like $20. Completely worth it. Right? Question your assumptions. Open up your mind. Do what adds life to you. Do what gives you energy. I have a video I uploaded maybe last week. Be aware of the energy you receive. Go watch that one. Just get in tune with what's giving you energy. Be in tune with the energy that you're giving out to the world, the quality of the energy that you give out. And then be in tune with what you're taking in. And if what you're taking in is making you sick, right, your information diet is making you sick. The environments that you're in are making you sick. The food you're taking in is making you sick. The energy you're always exposing yourself to is making you sick. You have to cut that out. right? Just being aware of what you're continuously interacting with and how that's shaping up your mind, shaping up your life. And this doesn't mean just always watching my content. This means just sit down and meditate. Don't always be needing something to put in front of you, or else you're going to be uneasy. Learning to just watch yourself, attune to yourself. And then maybe that means watching some of my content. And then that means maybe reading a book. Maybe that means then painting a picture. Maybe that means then going out and just going for a walk and maybe touching the grass with your bare hands, or maybe touching the tree. Right? What do you need right now? What's your body calling you towards? Maybe it wants to move. Right? What is your body kind of pulling you towards? Maybe today it needs movement. Maybe tomorrow it needs movement. Maybe the day after it needs rest. Learning to actually listen to your needs and your subtle sensations and your intuition. Watch my previous video on intuition. And being able to kind of follow that. Using that as your guide above anything I say, above anything anyone else really says. While also being very sincere and open. So get more sensitive to experience. Sense into the fluctuating energy and sensations in the body. Don't just numb yourself forever, doom scroll your life away. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, are really going to just be doom scrolling their life away. It's quite sad. We're going to just go on our phone and just scroll until we pass away because we're so addicted to it. Wake up to the beauty of existence itself. Just open your eyes and actually realize how profound this is. There's a native healing practice where basically what you do is you look at a small patch of grass, maybe like 1 meter by 1 meter. And you just look at it for an hour. You observe all the ants moving, all the leaves that blow by, every texture on the leaves, every texture of the blade of grass, the ladybug that comes by. Just really getting in tune with what's happening right in that moment. Just staring at it for an hour, just connecting to it. No need to always just be stimulating your mind with more and more and more, chasing and craving. So wake up to the profundity of experience itself. Wake up to the magic of what actually exists. And this is a miracle right here. This is very deep intelligence at work right here. If I performed a miracle 100 times, by the 50th time, you wouldn't care anymore. But the first time you would go, oh my God, you just performed a miracle. Right? This is the miracle right here. You're just taking it for granted and you're numb to it. So you don't recognize it as such. You're numb to it. You're not connected to it. You're not sensitive and aware of it. You're not present to it. You're not attuned to it. So you don't recognize the intelligence moving through experience moment by moment by moment. And instead, you interpret it just as kind of dumb physical stuff and a dumb body that just poops and eats food and reproduces. But this is intelligent. Intelligence is something that just happens inside of the human brain. Intelligence is this right now. This is consciousness right here. So fall in love with just attuning to life and letting it flow through you. Maybe read up on some Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching. Fall in love with just allowing the rhythm and natural flows of life to guide you. Develop this throughout your life. This is a real skill that I'm actually speaking about in this video. Have a long-term vision for actually developing this stuff and really learning to just be in awe of experience itself. Be in awe of life. You know when you look up at the stars and you have that sense of awe? Right? Can you be in awe just staring at your hand or staring at a chair, staring at, make it a little bit easier, at a blade of grass or a tree? Right? Learn to be in awe of very simple things that you wouldn't even appreciate. Looking at the toilet, be in awe of the experience of a toilet. Be in awe of all the things that you actually take for granted, recognizing the profundity of what they actually are, what the experience of it actually is, aside from your concepts and labels and preconceived notions of what reality is and what experience is. That's it for this video. If you're interested in working one-to-one with me, you can apply to do so. Link is in the pinned comment. Take it easy.